Hi, in this video today we're going to be setting up the iPhone 11. Now this is going to be a complete setup, installing the SIM card, going through all the setup from start to finish, and then at the end we're going to be putting on a screen protector and a nice OtterBox protective case as well. So this video is intended for beginners, those of you that have never set up a phone before, or maybe you've never set up an Apple product before. So in it I'm going to have to set up an Apple account. This is going to be a complete fresh install of Apple, as if the owner has never owned an Apple product before. So this has actually been bought for my son. We've just opened it up, taken off the protective cover just to see if it turns on, which it does. So let's get started. So let's open up the box. Now certain bits will have to be blurred out in the video. So this is the phone itself. Let's just lay that down just over here. And now in here we have little guide, and we've got our tool that we need to get the SIM card in, so we'll have to keep hold of that, and we've got some stickers at the back here. What else do we have? We have our little charger. This outputs 5 volts at 1 amp. It's very hard to see, but it says it in here. Now we've got our little charging cable, so this is just a standard USB here to a lightning connector. Now with these lightning connectors you can put them in both ways into the phone. It doesn't matter, it's reversible, so it can go in this way and it can also go in this way, like that. Here we have our earpods, and again these are a lightning connector at the bottom here, and also these will allow you to speak into them as well, so these have a microphone built into them. Right, so let's turn this phone on and get it set up. Now your phone will come with some charge on it, but if you did want to charge it up before working on it, then this is your charger here. We know that the lightning connector can go in both sides, but this USB port cannot go in both sides. It can only fit one way. Yeah, so it won't fit that way, only this way. If you have a look, you can see the 2 holes here look different than the 2 holes here. Don't put it in that way round, put it in this way round, where the 2 holes look like they've got more room, and it goes in that way, like that. Right, now let's turn the phone on. So we're going to hold down this button at the side here for a few seconds to turn it on. So I'm just holding it down now. 1 and 2 and 3, and you can see now it's turning itself on. We're going to swipe up from the bottom, and you need to pick your language. So I'm going to pick English, and now you need to select your region. Mine is United Kingdom. And now it says quick start. Bring your current iPhone or iPad near this iPhone to sign in and set up. If your other iPhone or iPad doesn't show options for setting up this iPhone, make sure it is running iOS 11 or later and has Bluetooth turned on. You can set up this phone manually. Well, we're going to be setting up manually because we haven't got another iPhone to set this one up. Set up manually, and now I've got to choose a Wi-Fi network. Now, what you'll see here is a load of different, these are called SSIDs, and if you have a look at your what we'd call a router in the UK, but you would know it as a router in other countries, that's basically the box of tricks that the internet service provider has given you to allow you to have internet in your home. On the back of that you will have your SSID, which is the name of the router, and then underneath that you will have something called a password or a passphrase or a key, and that's what you need to type in. So I'm just going to show you an example of that on my router. So now I've taken this off my router because it's a removable one, but you might have to actually go down and look at it. And if you have a look here, it's a BT router, and you can see wireless SSID. So this is what the router is actually called, and then the wireless key is what I would type in as a password. Now I'm not actually using this wireless key anymore, I've changed it, hence the reason I've got it showing all over the internet. So what I'm going to be doing is, just off camera now, I'm going to be selecting my SSID, my router, and then I'm going to be putting in my real wireless key, and then we'll join the next stage of the setup. Right, so I've just put in my password there off the real router, and if you ever need to do a capital, this is your keyboard here, and if you want numbers you do this one here, but if you want to do a capital you just do that arrow there. Yeah. So now I'm going to go to join, take me to the next step here. So right now it's just loading up, and now I've got a tick next to my one, and I've got the option now to do next up at the top. So I'm just going to get my son to press next. There we go. And it says it may take a few minutes to activate your iPhone. Right, now I've got a data and privacy thing so you can learn more and read about it. I'm just going to go to continue. Now, Face ID. iPhone can recognise the unique three-dimensional features of your face to unlock automatically. Use Apple Pay, make purchases or subscribe to services from Apple. So we're going to go to continue. And now I'm going to put my son's face in this area here, and then it's going to recognise it. It says move your head slowly to complete the circle. So what you have to do is you have to move your head all the way round, and there's a green dashes all the way around it that complete as you do it. So it says here first Face ID scan completed. So now we're going to have to do it again. So go to continue, and again you reposition your face within the frame, and then you're going to have to move your head around again. And then it says second Face ID complete, and now it says Face ID is now set up. Continue. Now we've got to create a passcode. Now it's going to be more secure to do a 6-digit code. If you find it hard to do a 6-digit code, you can change it to a 4-digit code by going to passcode options, and you can see here we can do a 4-digit numerical code, or we've got other ones where, for example, you can do the alphabet instead. I'm just going to go with, I'm going to go to back, and I'm going to go with the 6-digit one. If you want to do a 4-digit one, you will just click 4-digit numeric code. So I'm just going to do this off camera. Now after you've done that once, it's just going to ask you to enter it in again. And now it's just whirring away in the corner up here. And now we've got apps and data. Choose how you want to transfer apps and data to this phone. So you can restore it from iCloud backup, from your Mac or PC, directly from iPhone, move data from Android, so if you've got an Android phone you can move it over, or in my instance it's don't transfer apps and data because it's a complete new setup. Now I have to sign in with your Apple ID to use iCloud and other Apple services. Now if you don't have one, which is the case here, I'm going to tap forgot password or don't have Apple ID. And now it says here forgot Apple password or Apple ID, or create a free Apple ID. So we're going to create a free one. And now I've got to enter in my details, such as the first name, last name and date of birth. So I'm going to be doing that off camera. And when it comes to your date of birth, when you have the scroll wheels down here, look, that will do the actual day, this will do the month, and this one will do the year. It feels quite nice when you do it because you have a nice little clicky feedback coming through it. Right, so I've just clicked next, and now I have to put in my email address, and this will be your new Apple ID. Right, so I've just entered in my email at the top, but I haven't pressed next yet because I want to turn this one off because I don't want to get a load of emails through from Apple. And now I'm just going to go to next up at the top here. And now I've got to put in my password. And it must be at least 8 characters long, and it must include a number, an uppercase letter and a lowercase letter. And then you've got to input it twice to make sure you've done the same one twice. So the password's been entered now, and now I'm just going to press next. So now it says please enter a phone number that can be used to verify your identity via text message or a phone call. So we're going to have to either enter a landline number, or for example if your wife or daughter or son or partner, whatever, has a phone, you would enter their phone number there so you can verify who it is. And you can do it by text or phone call. So I'm just going to get my phone, and then I'm going to type in my number here so it can text me. To enter your phone number, you're going to choose the region, United Kingdom, and then I'm going to tap where it says phone number, and then it will bring up the keypad down here for me to enter in whatever the phone number is. Now it says here please enter the verification code sent to my phone number, and then I just have to enter in the verification code underneath there. So after you've done the verification code, it comes up with the terms and conditions. You can send it to email if you want to read it at a different time, and you can click each one to read all about them. If you're happy with it, press agree down at the bottom, and again we're just whirring away up here, and it says here it may take a few minutes to create your new Apple ID. Okay, so that took about 2 to 3 minutes, and now it says keep your iPhone up to date. Get the latest features, security and improvements by updating iOS automatically. You will receive a notification before updates are installed and can choose other options in settings. So we're going to go to continue, or if you'd rather, you can do install updates manually, and then you can do them at a time that suits you. I'm just going to go to continue, and I'm going to let Apple take care of it. And then it's come up with location services. You can either enable it or disable it. This would be, for example, if you were to ask Siri for a number of a nearby taxi rank, then it knows where your phone is, and when you do the maps and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to enable. And now it says Siri. Siri helps you to get things done just by asking. Siri can even make suggestions before you ask in apps and keyboards. To use Siri, press and hold the side button, this one here, or you can say, "Hey Siri," at any time. So you can set this up later if you want to do it later on, but I'm going to go for continue. Right, I'm going to get my son to say this because he's going to be the one actually using it. There we go, it says "Hey Siri is ready." So we're going to go to continue. And now it says improve Siri and dictation. Help Apple improve Siri and dictation by allowing Apple to store audio of your Siri and dictation interactions from this iPhone. Well, on this one I'm going to say not now, because I don't want my what I ask it and stuff like that to be stored with Apple. So I'm going to put not now. And now it says screen time. Get a weekly reports with insights about your screen time and set time limits for the apps you want to manage. You could also use screen time on children's devices and set up parental controls. Well, I'm just going to go to set up later in settings, because I'm not going to have any parental controls or anything on this phone. So I'm going to go to set up later in settings, but obviously you would need to determine if you want to use that yourself. Now it says analytics. Help Apple improve its products and services, including Siri and other intelligent features, by allowing analytics of usage and data from your iPhone and iCloud account. Again, I'm going to say don't share for this, but it's up to you if you want to share any analytics. So I'm going to go to don't share. True tone display. iPhone automatically adapts to ambient lighting conditions to make colours appear consistent in different environments. You can change this later in display and brightness settings. And it says here, see without true tone display. Okay, so under these lights it actually looks better without it. But I'll just leave it as this now. It can always be changed later on. So let's go to continue. Now appearance. Select a light or dark appearance and see how iOS adjusts depending on which ones you choose. So we've got light and we've got dark. So you can see that's like a dark mode and that's a lighter mode. I'm just going to ask my son which one you want.
Light, please.
So we're going to leave that on light and go to continue. This can all be changed at a later stage anyway. Display zoom. Choose how you would like to view your phone. Zoom shows larger text and controls. Standard fits more on the screen. Again, it can be changed later on in settings. So none of this is final. Right, so zoomed or standard. I'm going to go for standard because my son's eyesight is fine, so he can easily see the icons on a normal screen, and then you can get more icons on the screen. So I'm going to go to continue. Now go home. Swipe up from the bottom edge at any time to go home. So you would just go up from here as your home button. So let's go to continue. Switch between recent apps. Swipe up further from the bottom edge, then release to show your recent apps. Yeah, so I suppose you would swipe up and then go a little bit further. Continue. Quickly access controls. Swipe down from top right edge to open control center. Press and hold a control to reveal more options. Continue. Welcome to iPhone. Swipe up to get started. So here we go. Swipe up. And there we have. Here we go. So it says no SIM card installed. So why don't we install the SIM card next? Now to do the SIM card we're going to need that special little tool. So I've got the tool here. And I've got my SIM card here. Now with the SIM cards you normally have 3 different sizes. You've got standard, micro and nano. So I'm not sure yet. It's probably going to take a nano, but I'm not going to touch this yet until I know what size it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the phone on its side, and we should have, here we go, we've got the one down here on the right hand side. Can you see the little hole? So we're going to use this here, and we're just going to put it in here, and we're just going to press in quite firmly. It takes quite a bit of strength to push that in, and then it pops out like that. So we're going to lift this out now, and you will see we have an option to put our SIM card in that little tray there. So then you can match it up to the size, and we now know that what I actually need is the nano one, which is the smallest one there is. So let's pop it out. and now I need to break out just the middle section, which is the nano size. Can you see there? So that's the middle one, that's the nano, and this would be the micro, that one there, and that's the standard size. So that's how you pop them out. So now I'm going to place this just in here, and if you have a look, can you see there's a little cutout just on the corner there? Can you see it's like beveled on that edge? And if you have a look at your SIM card, it's also beveled on that edge. So it's going to go in that way there with the contacts just like that. Yeah. So now we're going to place this back in like so, and we're going to line up the hole here with the hole here. So place it in, and we are now in. So now let's turn our phone back on, tap the side, and we're going to swipe up, and I've just got to enter in the passcode, and I'm getting all the messages through from Vodafone. So it says here, FaceTime and iMessage. Your network provider may charge for SMS messages used to activate FaceTime and message and iMessage. And if I was to scroll down here, you can see all the notifications that's just popped up, and I've got all my messages here. Right, so now if I was to go into settings, there's two more things I need to do. That's why it's lit up here. Now I can't show you because all my details will come up, but I need to verify my email address before I can use all the iCloud services and stuff, so I'm going to do that now. And also the other thing is setting up Apple Pay. Well, I'm not going to set up Apple Pay on this because it's my son's phone, but I am going to verify the email address. So I'm just going to speak what I'm doing off camera now. So I'll press settings, and underneath settings I'm going to go to verify your email address. It is actually, it's got a sort of a number 1 next to it here, so it tells you that's what you need to do. And then it says here, verify your email address, and it comes up with my email address. To finish setting up your Apple ID, you will not be able to use iCloud or the App Store until your email address has been verified. So now I'm just going to tap on verify email address. And now it says an email with a verification code has been sent to the email I gave. Please enter the code below. So now I'm going to go onto my emails, and then I'm going to type in the verification code, and that will be the actual phone setup. So I went onto my emails, and then it had a verification code there that I entered into my phone, and that went fine. And then also it wanted me to verify the actual Apple iCloud account as well. So then I went into the iCloud on my computer, and then it sent a verification code through to the mobile, and then I entered that in, and now both of them are set up. So it's all set up on the phone, and now it's set up on the iCloud as well. So for example, if this phone was ever to go missing, then what you could do is you can sign in via a desktop or a laptop, and then you can go to find my iPhone down here, and then you'll be able to find the last known location of that iPhone. So now they are both set up. I think it's time we put the screen protector on this, and also the case as well. The screen protector time now, so I've got a little microfiber cloth here, and I'm just giving it a clean to make sure there's no dust or anything on it. The best time to put on the screen protector is as soon as you get the phone, but I didn't because I wanted to start the video off with the setting up of the phone. But if you're doing this yourself, probably would be best to do the screen protector first, because then you're not going to get fingerprints anywhere. Right, I'm happy with that, so let's get the screen protector on. So I've got all the various different parts down here. I've got a wet wipe, but I'm not going to use that because the screen is perfect. I've got a dust absorber, so basically you would use this if there's little bits of dust that you want to just stick off. So this is just basically like a sticker that will just lift the dust off. Now with this one here, they've actually given me a nice little case here to pop on it, because the edges of the screen is slightly curved, so the screen protector is not going to go the way to the very edge, but it doesn't matter because I'm using a cover which comes round a little bit anyway. So with this one you can see it says bottom just here, so I'm going to be placing this on the bottom of the screen here like that, and now that will allow me to line up the screen protector perfectly. So what's going to happen is it's going to go on this way round with the cut off up the top here, because that's where the camera is up there. Okay, so it's going to be basically going on like that there. Right, so let's just go with it. So I've got a thing at the back here, so I'm going to just peel it off, making sure I don't put my fingerprints on the back. I'm lining it up here, and I'm just going to drop it down into place like that. And now let's just give it a little press, and you can see now, look at that, how nice does that look? Let that just travel all the way up. I love putting on screen protectors. Look at that, go on all the way. Boom, that's it. And look, can you see there's nothing trapped there at all? So that is perfect. Now obviously if you were putting this on the phone after you've used it for a week or so, you would want to use the wet wipe to get it completely clean. So it really does help when you have a little guide like this. So now we're going to take the guide off, and you can see now we've got the screen protector on, and this will give it a nice bit of protection just from scratches. If I drop this on a sharp stone, it's still going to crack the screen, but this will just help. Right, so that's the protector on there. Now by the time I put the protector on and also the case, it's never going to look as nice as it did when you just have the phone on its own. But unfortunately you have to protect these items because they're very expensive and they're easy to get damaged. And at least then, once you do put a decent case on it and a screen protector, the chances are then that months down the line, if you do take them off, your phone's still going to be perfect. So we're using an OtterBox one here. These are expensive, but they are good quality. So I'm just going to give the inside a clean, and now we're going to place it in here. These can be quite hard to get on because they're slightly rubberized, so it feels like you might break it when you do put it in. There we go.
I didn't catch that.
And now we have it, you see. So I've still got access to my buttons here, so you can see that these are the volume buttons here. Making sure they're working. Can you see there's a little scale there? And we can turn our ringer on and off just here. And then if we flick it the other way, so it's on when you can't see anything there. When we do it this side, can you see? You can see a little bit of red. And we have our button here to put it into sleep, and then take it out of sleep as well. Now if we actually want to shut the phone down completely, then what we need to do is we need to hold down this bottom button here, the bottom volume button, and also this button here. So watch this now. I'm just going to turn it on, and now I'm going to hold them both on at the same time for a few seconds, and you will see here we have an option then to slide to power off, and if we do that, the phone will now go off. Now to turn the phone on, again we just need to hold this down for a few seconds. So not just tap it, but actually hold it down. And there you go, the Apple logos come on. So now I think what we should do is let's download WhatsApp, and then that will show you the App Store. When you turn it on again, you will need to enter your passcode, not Face ID, because remember we fully shut it down. We go into the App Store, and we're just going to press continue, and it says allow App Store to use your location. I'm just going to do it while using the app. So now let's go into search down at the bottom here, and we're going to type in WhatsApp. It says speed up your typing by sliding your finger across the letters to compose a word. Okay, so what you can do is, for example, instead of doing like WhatsApp like that, you can actually just go like this and hover over it. Okay, WhatsApp. And there we go, WhatsApp Messenger. Get. And it says sign in, use existing Apple ID. Now I've got to do this off camera. Just type in my details here. This is the first time here. It says this Apple ID has not yet been used in the iTunes Store. Tap review to sign in, then review your account information. So I'm just going to tap review, and I've just basically got to just agree to the terms and conditions. So I have to turn it on just here. Then I need to go to next up the top. And now I have to enter in my credit or debit card information or my PayPal. I'm just going to go for PayPal. So I've set up the PayPal now, so I'm just going to go to next in the top right hand corner. So I've set up the PayPal now, but I still need to complete the entire form. So when I scroll down, it's basically wanting my phone number. It's already got my street address from PayPal, but I still need to enter the phone number. And now it says Apple ID completed. To continue. And now it will allow me to actually get it. So obviously you won't have to do this every time, it's just the first time when you set it up. So let's do WhatsApp now. Now see, if I go to the right hand side, that WhatsApp has come up here. So now WhatsApp can be set up for free messaging and free phone calls and video calls and stuff. You can see Roblox is now downloaded. So again, if we just go up from the bottom here and go across, you will now see we've got it here. So that's it now, we've put our cover on. We've got it all set up. Let's just talk about some very basic features, and also just to show you the headphones. So with the headphones, you're just going to plug them in here, and then we can control the volume via here. So plug them into the bottom lightning connector, doesn't matter which way around they go. And now if I was to use the volume here, we're going up, you can see it's moving up here. When I go up, and minus will bring the volume down. And let's just charge it up. So we're going to plug in the charger. and plug this into here, and you will see when we do that we've got a little lightning bolt up here to signify that it's charging. And look, if we unplug it and put it in the other way round, it will also charge. There we go. And some very basic features just to get you started. Obviously there's so much more you can do with this, and you can watch more in-depth tutorials once you've got used to your phone. So let's swipe in from the top right hand side, and you can see that brings up this panel here. Here we can change the brightness of the phone. We can also do things like volume. We can turn on the flashlight, and you can see there it's using the flash off the camera. Turn that off again. And you can do things like aeroplane mode, and also things like calculator as well. Now to get back to home, we just need to swipe up a tiny bit just from the bottom, and that will go back to home. Now let's say if you want to see what apps you've already got open, or you might want to close down some apps. We're going to swipe in from the bottom, but this time we're just going to go a little bit further up until the background gets blurry. So swiping up from the bottom, and you can see now the background's gone blurry. This has now brought up the apps that I have open on the phone. And then what you can do is you can close some of them by swiping them away like that. Yeah. And then for example you can go into one if you want by doing that, and then again we can go up from the bottom here, and you can see here we can then bring up the other one there. Right, now let's say if you want to make a phone call, all we have to do is hit the phone button down here, and then we can start typing in our number, and then once you've typed in your number you can go to add number, and then you can do it as a new contact. You can type in the name, last name, etc. So let's get rid of that. Discard changes. Now we have our camera. So to get into the camera you need to go to here, or again we can just go here and we can tap the camera icon here. It's going to take us to the same place, yeah, or here. Now with this you've got two, remember there's two cameras at the back here, and can you see it says one here? So if I was to, for example, put this here, you can see at the moment, you can see it here, but now it gets smaller as I press this, so you can see it's quite big at the moment, and if I press that you can see it gets smaller. And again, if you want to do like a front facing camera, you're going to hit this button here, and then you've got different options there to make it bigger and smaller. Spin it back around again, and to take a picture you're just going to press that button there, and you have all different options here by scrolling to the left and the right, video, slow-mo, etc. Yeah. And let's say if you want to know how much storage you've got on your phone, and all the other things are mostly going to be under settings. So if we click on settings, which is this gear icon here, general, you can now go to where it says storage, iPhone storage, and you can see now it's a 64 gigabyte phone, and we've used up 13.6 gigabytes, even though I've only actually downloaded so far WhatsApp. So you can see a lot of storage is taken up just with the phone's system itself. To find out your phone number so you can give it out to your friends and family, we're going to tap on settings, and then we're going to tap on your name at the top, and then it's going to come up with another page, and on that one it's going to say, on my one, Vincent's iPhone, and then when I tap on that it's going to come up with information about the phone, and one of them will be the actual phone number of the phone itself. So if I tap the name now, you can see at the bottom here it says Vincent's iPhone, so I'm going to tap that, and it brings up another page here, and it has the phone number just there, just covered up by my hand. If you would like to know the exact percentage that's left on your battery rather than looking at the icon, we can just swipe in from the right hand side, keep your finger on the phone, and then it says 66%, and then we can just swipe back again and you're back to your home page there. And this will be for your internet here. So this is going to open up Safari, and then for example we can go to Google and you can type up what you want there. Remember, we can also use Siri as well. So, hey Siri, open up Safari. There you go, you can see it's opened it up there. So that concludes the video. Once you get used to it, you can do absolutely loads on it, but that is just the very basics just to get you started. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos. Take care, bye now.